The barrier that stops us, if I'm thinking about a barrier that maybe stops us from embracing, like if I think about white people or embracing people that's different from us, would be, I think, because we have to know our place, and like as a people that have been oppressed, um, makes it hard to embrace someone that is like that has pushed you down your life. And so to actually reach out and to actually embrace someone else.
Pride. Pride is a big thing from both sides, because it's that pride of, what if I reach out to be friends with that black person and they call me racist, or they call me out on something racist I did? Or what if I reach out to that white person and they just don't care, or they just don't see it, or they tell me I'm imagining all that I'm experiencing? So it's that fear mixed with pride that is a barrier. And sometimes it takes courage. I think that to build a bridge, it takes courage, because you need to build one that's steady enough to carry you. And it takes time. You don't know how long or how far this bridge you build needs to be. And there's a lot of fear that you need to overcome.
I think fear is a barrier to bridge building for all of us. The fear of not understanding or being misunderstood. And I think for white people, the fear of being seen to be racist is quite a big thing at the moment. I was actually just thinking about it today, and while I didn't experience the apartness, I definitely experienced being advantaged over black people, even though I didn't really get that as a child. And now looking back on that, I realize my family was friendly with black people, but I wouldn't say we were friends. There weren't relationships of equality. There was definitely this kind of boss-employee dynamic, even if it was somebody like my beloved nanny who was part of the family. There was still that not quite an equal relationship.
I'm hoping that as I try to break down some of those prejudices, because I think we have to be honest, the effect of apartheid is that I have prejudices. I do. I don't want them, I have them. I look at people walking down my leafy suburb of Plumstead, and I look at them with a lens. Do they belong here? My children don't, which is awesome. Okay, so they're getting to live something that I'm having to learn to live. And I know that people might be hearing this and they're wondering, but geez, Mike, I know you it seems odd. Well, actually, that's what's happening inside. And if it's happening inside of me, I think it's happening in a lot of people.
If I was speaking to white people, firstly, coming to an understanding that restitution is important has been the place that I've realized I need to go. I've had these conversations with many friends of mine, and unfortunately, not all of them have been that open to really listening. But I feel like if we can't agree that restitution of some kind needs to happen, it's difficult to move on when speaking about racial issues in South Africa.
I was quite challenged about 18 months ago around this whole thing of white privilege. Maybe I didn't want to believe it. That might have been the thing. But it took somebody in Jubilee challenging me hard about generational wealth and white privilege and what that means for me to grapple with it. And I think we do have to grapple with it. I think let's not be fake about this. You're going to have to do some serious soul searching, but to do that soul searching, you need a place to work it out. You need a place that you can talk to people. And you need a place, in my view, the place is Jubilee, but you need a place like that where you can connect and talk and have people that can come up to you and genuinely love you, but are prepared to challenge you.
I think one of the single biggest barriers in the country, and maybe this is not on an interpersonal thing, is that we have a situation where we've asked people who've been oppressed by the past to forgive others, and they have done so to a large degree. Actually, if you look at a lot of the unrest and kind of protests that happen in South Africa, it's towards the government, it's not towards white people, and that's interesting. And yet, on the other side of the conversation, we have people who say, who've asked for the forgiveness and who say they've repented but haven't done so indeed. And so I think the word is restitution, and I think the lack of restitution is probably the single biggest barrier to bridge building.
So, barriers to bridge building. I think a big thing is that when conversations do happen between like a white person, a black person, a colored person, a white person, just those mixed groups, people end up, like if I'm venting to a friend, a white friend, about something that happened with a white person, they end up taking it personally. And as soon as emotions get involved and it becomes personal, and I make it personal, whatever else is said is an attack on me. And so I'm listening to defend myself, and I'm listening to prove you wrong. I'm listening to ensure that I come out looking good. And what that means is that I stop listening to what you're actually saying. I stop hearing your hurt. I stop encouraging you, because now it's about me. And it's about my emotions, it's about my hurt. I think if we listen to listen, we listen to it's bigger than, racism is bigger than one white person.